As more people turn to non-alcoholic beverages, some of the traditional winemakers have also responded to this shift, including world-renowned winemakers of the Familia Torres winery. And joining us now is Mireia Torres and super wine girl Angela Aiello, a fifth-generation member of the Familia Torres winery. That is Mireia, not Angela, but maybe one day you will be. Good morning to you both. It is such a pleasure. As Angela, you know, I love wine, and I know there are really practical reasons. My father, when he had Parkinson's, had medication, couldn't have alcohol, so we were looking, and that was 2010, and it was challenging to find something. You were almost the beginning at the Familia Torres, the head of the curve. 2008 was when you started. What was the motivation for looking at making non-alcoholic wine?
Yes, well, first of all, I have to recognize that the first time that I talked with my father, you know, explaining him a small project about dealcoholized wine, he was saying to me that I was like crazy.
Oh, no!
Yeah. But
Black sheep of the family.
Finally, it was a small pilot, so he approved that. And it was a pilot with a company that has restaurants in the motorways. So our idea was to produce a wine without alcohol, with all the natural aromas from our own wine, and just in order to avoid the effect of the alcohol to the drivers, and also, why not, for some clients that have some medical issues that cannot drink wine.
And now the whole world, younger world, seems to be really shifting, so you can say to your dad, see, I told you so. This has been a project in the making for a long time, but a lot of people have no idea even how to de-alcoholize wine. So maybe as we pour a glass to show the beauty and the color of the red as well, tell me how is it done?
Well, this is a physical process. It's like a vacuum distillation. So we do two distillations with a spinning cone column. So it's a column that has cones. Some are fixed, some are rotative. And at the end, the rotative cones, they make, at the end, a fine layer of the wine in order to enhance the contact. And then you put also some steam with the wine from down in the column to the up, and then what you get is like a distillation in vacuum. So all the most volatile aromas, they get to the top of the column, and then you condensate them, you extract the aromas, and then in a second distillation you extract the rest of the ethanol, and then you add the aromas again to the alcoholized wine.
Wow, so you're literally separating the alcohol from the flavors, so you don't lose any of the flavors when you do it. Is there something else you notice yourself? These are beautiful bottles, by the way, and if you notice on the bottle it says in the florals 0.5, and then I was like, oh, is that as low as you can get? Because I know in decaffeinated coffee sometimes you use still a little caffeine, but you said you can get to almost absolute zero, right?
Yes, exactly. Of course, at the end, what we try is to get the same aroma as the wine, no? Because we are recovering the aromas from the original wine, and of course at the end in the mouth, it's a little bit different because you don't have the alcohol, and the alcohol is always giving you a little bit more length in the mouth feeling. But I think that after so many years working in our company, we have now a very good product that is very well balanced and very elegant.
That's wonderful. And often in the summer too, you don't need those long finishes.
Exactly.
I love the Syrahs and the long finishes and the Riojas and such. But
the aromas, the aroma is really where you're going for this. These have wonderful aromas. You have Syrah and Grenache in the red, you have Muscat Alexandra in the white, so you really have those aromas, and that fresher style comes through on the palate. So serving it chilled, whether it's red or white, is something that can really help elevate your experience of these wines.
That's really, so what would you pair this with the same things that you would the traditional grape?
Absolutely. I think, they just kind of add an element to your table when you're hosting, when you're giving people, a non-alcoholic option to drive home with. This was the very first non-alcoholic Spanish brand in the world. So this is the leader in the category. And the pricing of these wines are at $10.95. They're brilliantly priced for trial and for enjoyment. So definitely the food pairings would be aligned about the same. You're going to get seafood and aperitif for the wife, some grilled meats and pork tenderloin, even hot dogs and hamburgers for the red. They're really about,
or just drinking on a patio when the weather warms up. Well, to the Familia Torres, thank you for being here, Mireia. And you can find these at the LCBO. Thank you, Angela. Always a pleasure. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Salud. We will be right back.